Situated along the St. Johns River on Florida's Atlantic coast, Jacksonville has become one of the largest cities in the U.S. TIAA Bank Field is home to the all-elite among sports and entertainment, and tonight 12 of Monster Jam's finest roar into Duval County. Can the two-time World Finals champion hold off his biggest rivals and retain the series points lead? Or will the Sunshine State spotlight bring another driver closer to World Finals glory? This is Stadium Championship Series Yellow. This is round 18. This is Monster Jam.
Unbelievable! Yes! There's some huge air. He can save it right there. He can save it. Holy cow! Awesome move. Look at that. And he's got it. Cowabunga. Big air out of the box. Beautiful. Ah!
The road to World Finals begins now.
It is a windy night by the beach here in Jacksonville, Florida, where tonight 40,000 fans will file into TIAA Bank Field to see the stars of Stadium Championship Series Yellow. Hello everyone, I'm Scott Jordan alongside Colt Stevens, and this series has become a three-team race for the championship between Ryan Anderson, Tyler Menninga, and Camden Murphy. Now, only a few drivers have been mathematically eliminated, but Colt, if you're sitting there in that 4 to 8 range in the series point standings, how do you stay on pace with the top three drivers?
The key is going to be consistency. Go out there and get every valuable point that you can, complete in every event. So you got to keep the truck together, keep it running good, be at the top of your game, but make sure you're consistent in each and every event so that you can get many valuable points. And the biggest thing is kind of hoping that the top guys like Ryan Anderson make a big mistake and lose valuable points.
In the last two rounds, Tyler Menninga tried to tighten the gap between he and Ryan Anderson. He won 2 freestyle competitions, but the difference this season between Gravedigger and Son of a Digger Colt has been in the racing competition. What has been going wrong for Tyler in racing?
I got to be honest with you, Scott. Tyler's just been getting beat. He's had some good passes out there, but when it comes to laying it down on the track, sometimes he just flubs. And I don't know exactly what's going on. Sometimes it might be a little bit of truck issues, but I think it might be a little bit of a mental aspect for Tyler. He needs to throw that out the window, go out there, do what he does best, and he'll win some races.
Right now, let's hear from the 4-time Triple Threat Series champion as we head downstairs and join Leslie Mears with Gravedigger's Tyler Menninga in this UNOH Pit Report update.
Well, Tyler, we are down to single-digit events here on the tour, and I know that you've got the championship in sight, but I think you've also got to probably thinking about World Finals as well and trying to make that qualifying field. So what kind of things are you trying to do to make yourself stand out to that committee to show that you deserve to be at World Finals if you don't end up winning this championship?
Right, you know, it's going to be tough to catch Ryan. I mean, we had a good start to the tour, and we kind of fell off while we were in Anaheim. Anaheim just did not go my way. So right now I'm just focused on holding my second-place position. I definitely want to spread my gap on Camden, but like you said, making sure the committee accepts me into World Finals. I'm going to go out here and just throw down freestyles the rest of this tour. Just go out and have fun. That's what I told myself last week in Miami, and we had a lot of fun there. So exactly what we're going to do here tonight in Jacksonville.
Thanks, Leslie. I have seen Tyler play a lot of head games with other drivers in the bigger events, you know, taking his time coming to the starting line, kind of backing it in and out, playing a little bit of games, and maybe he can use that, getting these other drivers' heads and gain those points.
Let's take a look at the driver lineup here for Stadium Championship Series Yellow. Colt, who do you have your eye on tonight?
You know, I'm going to have to say Jim Kohler. He's been kind of struggling a little bit this year, hasn't quite got this track figured out, but I was talking to him earlier today, and he really wants to go out there and perform, put on a show for these fans here in Jacksonville. He won the last event we had here, so Jim Kohler's the one I'm watching.
Now let's take a look at the series point standings. Ryan Anderson with a big lead now, 50 points, but I want to talk about point deductions. Coming back from Miami, Paul Jensen was deducted 10 points. Charlie Ponkin was deducted 5. What happened there?
You know, as drivers, we all know you cannot get onto the buildings, onto the walls or the containers, and unfortunately, both those drivers hit the containers in Miami. Paul actually hit 2 of them, one during his skills attempt and in freestyle, so they deducted him 10 points. That's big when it comes to points in this series whenever they're already so far behind. Unfortunately, Paul had a good run going, but losing those 10 points made that show really bad for him.
Let's take a look at the event breakdown for round 18. Our drivers will compete in 3 competitions: racing, the Great Cliff Skills Challenge, and freestyle. Points will be awarded based on finish. 12 will go to the winner, and the driver with the most points at the end of the night is crowned the overall event champion. It's time now for Track Talk. Colt, let's talk about the dirt. What was the process of bringing the dirt here into Jacksonville?
You know, I actually talked to the dirt guys a lot last night about this dirt, and unfortunately it rained a lot while this dirt was sitting outside. So we are on a live field, so they can only bring it in at the last minute. So they had to mix this dirt up. Well, when they came in for practice, this track was really ruddy, which is not like this track. Usually it's a hard-packed, dry, fast track, but it was really ruddy. The drivers were kind of struggling with it, but they brought in a steamroller and really packed this dirt in. So I'm interested to see how it turns out. If it's going to rut up again, or would that packed in dirt help them slide around these corners and get some bad fast passing?
Let's take a look at the racing bracket for tonight. Monster Mutt versus Soldier Fortune in round one. Zombie up against Vendetta. Avenger versus Jurassic Attack. Gravedigger versus El Toro Loco. In the first round, buys belong to Megalodon, Son of a Digger, Bakugan Dragonoid, and Axe. Colt, how about Preston Perez getting a first round buy?
Man, that is awesome. Preston really impressed me in the last round, going so fast in that Axe truck. But one thing about this bracket I really like is you have the 4 fast guys on opposite sides of the bracket, so we have an even opportunity to see the fastest guys make it to the final round.
As we await our first matchup of the night, let's send it down to Leslie Mears. Leslie.
Guys, Kayla's a little reluctant about these track conditions today. You got to remember, this is her first time in Jacksonville, and the way that the track rutted up yesterday in practice, she's a little worried about it going in the turn. She said she wished she got to see a couple races before she got out there.
Thank you, Leslie. I talked to Kayla earlier this afternoon. We did a one-on-one session. Colt, she told me she was excited to face Charlie. She was a little nervous because Charlie is one of her idols in Monster Jam, but she said she thinks she has enough to take him. And we are off and running in the racing bracket. And Soldier Fortune with the lead at the halfway point out of the berm.
Oh, Kayla bobbles.
And now Charlie Parker going to take advantage. Now it's Monster Mutt at the halfway.
Watch Charlie come through this corner. Nice, even control throttle all the way through.
And Caleb Blood spun out going into the final turn, so Charlie Puckin takes the win.
Yeah, Charlie recognized that the track was very slick out there, so when you come into the corner, you can almost hear that truck sound like a boat, just really easy on the RPMs, very consistent, nice and smooth. Kayla was a little bit more choppy on the throttle, and you see her going into the first corner, gets a little bobbly, and in the second corner, it really bit her and spun her out.
Up next here in round one, it is Mike Christensen and Vendetta against Barn Musauer and Zombie. Mike Christensen goes up high, goes up on 2 wheels, and Bari's out of the berm. Bari Musauer all kinds of time, was able to brake check, slow, steady that turn.
Oh, man, you can see that gray corner down there has got a big rut forming already. When Bari came through that corner right there, he really pushed that dirt out. It's cracking up.
Next up in round one, it is Jim Kohler and Avenger and Paul Jensen in Jurassic Attack. These two 1-1 on the season.
Now listen to Avenger's truck. He has a turbo 400 transmission, which means he has 3 gears in that transmission. Paul Jensen runs a power glide transmission, which means he only has a 2-speed. You're going to hear a little bit differences in these trucks as they go around this racetrack.
And Paul Jensen goes up on 2 wheels.
He committed to that corner. Paul's been fighting sway bars all year, and that might have bit him right there. That's what allows the truck to try and stay flat.
Jurassic Attack with the lead. Paul Jensen made it to the finals, the last round, to the finish. And Paul Jensen slow creeped that truck around that final turn, and Jurassic Attack takes the win. Take a look at the Super Glue to the action replay.
Jim hit that hole, tried to power through it. Unfortunately, had to check up to get square with the race lane, and that cost him the race.
Our final matchup in round one, Tyler Menninga Gravedigger against Craig Champion El Toro Loco. Tyler 2-0 against Craig this season. Winner goes on to advance against Preston Perez and Axe. And we are off and running. Final matchup here in round one.
Stays nice and low. Tyler coming out of that berm right there. Having to check up all the way around the corner. It's crazy. I bet lap times are getting slower as the rounds go because of all the holes that are forming.
And Tyler went real deep on that turn, the far side, the gray lane. And now Tyler Menninga Gravedigger will advance in racing. Let's take a look at the bracket now after round one. It'll be Megalodon against Monster Mutt, Son of a Digger against Zombie, Bakugan Dragonoid against Jurassic Attack, and Axe against Gravedigger. We are finished with round one in Jacksonville. Round two is up next. Megalodon, Son of a Digger, Bakugan Dragonoid, and Axe all enter the bracket when Monster Jam returns. Welcome back to Jacksonville, Florida for round 2 of Monster Jam Racing. Up first, it's Charlie Ponkin in Monster Mud up against Corey Rummel in Megalodon. And before that matchup, let's check in with Leslie.
Guys, Corey told me that having the bye is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because you get to watch all the races in round 1, but it's also a curse because the track conditions are not going to be as pristine as they were for that first round. So you bet your bottom dollar he's been watching how these corners have been developing so he can try to get through them.
Thank you, Leslie. We are off and running. Corey Rummel has made it to 6 final rounds. He goes up on 2 wheels. Doesn't slow down at all. Oh. Corey Rummel, Megalodon trying to turn on the jets here, Cole.
Yeah, Megalodon is really hanging it out. He almost missed the yellow race lane.
He goes way too wide, though, and it's going to be Charlie Ponkin getting the win. Take a look at the Super Glue to the action replay.
Charlie putting on a clinic, going nice and smooth and tight through these corners, but it seems to be the fastest way around the track.
Our next matchup, Son of a Digger against Zombie.
All right, this is the first time we've seen Son of a Digger come to the racing line. Be interested in him having that bye if that's going to affect him. We know Ryan likes to hang it all out around these corners. This might not be a track he can do that.
Ryan Anderson, 37-10 in racing this season. 8-3 in his career against Barry Musauer. And Barry gets rutted up in that dirt.
And Ryan's able to find a nice line. Look how tight he is. He went inside of everybody else's ruts.
And Son of a Digger's going to take the win. Great race pass for Ryan Anderson. Take a look at the Super Glue to the action replay.
Ryan comes into this first berm corner, gets the rear of that truck to sit and get, comes out of that corner bad fast. Now watch this right here. This is key. He moves way inside, knows those holes are down there, keeps the truck nice and tight. That was a fast pass.
Next up here in round 2, it is going to be Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid against Paul Jensen in Jurassic Attack. And last round in Miami, Paul made it all the way to the final. So Paul doing really well since he got those sway bars.
Yeah, Paul changed the truck up a lot. This is a new chassis this year, and he's been struggling with the sway bars, running really soft blocks which hold the bar. Well, what the sway bars do is keep the truck level as he goes around corners, and when they're soft, it makes the truck want to roll over a lot easier.
Paul Jensen fast again. Camden Murphy with a very small lead here.
Man, that was a close one.
Now Camden Murphy's going to enter into that run. He goes and drifts around, and he does a perfect turn, but he hits the pod. And he will get the win. So Camden Murphy able to hit the pod and straighten the truck back up. Take a look at the Super Glue to the action replay.
Yeah, watch Camden come in this last corner. You see him hit the turn pod. I was afraid he wasn't going to get both BKTs across the race lane, but he was able to, and he comes away with the win.
As we continue the second round here in Monster Jam Racing, let's send it downstairs to Leslie.
Guys, Preston Perez has had a lot of success in racing lately, and he said it's because the track conditions are very conducive to his truck and his driving style. He actually runs a spool in the front and the back, so it's a little bit harder to turn. He actually likes to drift through all the corners. That being said, the last 2 tracks that we've had have allowed him to do that.
Thank you, Leslie. Yeah, Preston Perez, very surprising in racing so far. We talked about at the top of the show. It's good to see him have some sort of consistency that he can build on.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the spool. So I actually like to run spools as well. What a spool is it allows the both front tires to turn together at all times. It's like they have a solid rod going from one side to the other. All the other trucks run a locker, which unlocks sometimes. It makes it easier to turn when it does unlock. You got to think that inside tire has to move faster than the outside tire whenever you turn. But if it's locked up, it makes it difficult to turn, so you need to slide the truck around.
And Preston Perez was asleep at the wheel at the start. Tyler Menninga goes sideways off the ramp. I do believe he got the 2 front BKT tires down, but we will take a look at the Super Glue to the action replay to double check.
That was a great pass by Tyler. Comes in this last corner here. You see, though, he gets a little sideways. There's a big hole forming, so he commits and gets it across for the win.
Let's take a look at our bracket here in the semifinal round. It's going to be Monster Mud against Son of a Digger and Bakugan Dragonoid against Grave Digger. 4 heavy hitters. You got Charlie Ponkin, Ryan Anderson, Camden Murphy, and Tyler Menninga all making semifinals here. Our first semifinal matchup, Charlie Ponkin and Monster Mud against Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. And we are off and running here. Anderson 38-10, Pocket 27-15.
Yeah, look how tight Ryan's staying. He's staying out of that ruddiness, staying tight on that fresh dirt.
And Anderson out with a big lead. He goes into the ruts here. He goes right through it.
Ends up getting a little deep on that one, but that's okay. Still got the win.
And Ryan Anderson going to take the win. Next up in the semifinals, it's going to be Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid against Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. 2 racing wins for Tyler, 5 for Camden. And Tyler gets off the line a little slower. Let's see where Camden Murphy goes.
Man, Camden hikes up, rear then front.
Now Tyler going through the dirt. He's up on 3 wheels through the dirt.
Man, Camden. So Tyler just needs to be smooth now. Hopefully his crew chief is talking to him.
Camden Murphy goes on 3
my
wheels.
gosh.
He's going to drift around. Look at the
Camden!
turn for Camden Murphy. Comes off the side of the ramp. We're going to check that one too.
How surprising is that? I think it's crazy how hard Camden fully committed. He said, I don't care if I roll over. I'm going through this corner as fast as I can right here. And that's exactly what he had to do to take that win.
We've reached the racing finals. Let's take a look at the bracket. It is going to be Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger, powered by Hoonigan, up against Camden Murphy in Bakugan Dragonoid. The fastest 2 of the day are about to pull to the line. It's Anderson versus Murphy. The racing finals are next on Monster Jam. Welcome back to round 18 of Monster Jam from the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have reached the racing finals. It is Bakugan Dragonoid, Camden Murphy up against Ryan Anderson and Son of a Deer, powered by Hoonigan. Ryan Anderson looking for his 40th racing round win of the year. Camden Murphy just got his 30th in the last round, but Camden with the fastest time. So Camden Murphy gets lane choice, and he goes from the far side of the track now to the yellow lane. Both with a great jump off the line. Look at Ryan Anderson coming out of the burn. He is throwing it down. He's up on 2 wheels, and Camden Murphy hits the pod.
He's on a whole nother level right now, Scott. He does not want to lose the Cam bicycles.
Camden Murphy up on 2 wheels. Ryan Anderson.
Oh, my gosh. He came out like a slingshot, buddy.
Take us to the Super Glue to the action replay.
Watch Ryan Anderson come into this first corner. He absolutely keeps it to the wood. Never lifts one time, slams that truck into that berm, and absolutely lays down a lap out here.
Ryan Anderson gets his 40th racing round win and his 9th racing competition win of the season, and he's on the track with Leslie Mears. Leslie.
Ryan, it looked like it was getting a little dicey out there. How were you able to maneuver and stay the course and make it look so flawless?
Man, I knew with the setup of my truck, I like to try to keep it low and wide swung out. So I knew with the ruts coming out of these turns, that it was either all or nothing. So I committed. I basically put that thing on a plane like a boat, went across the top of those ruts, wide open throttle. I knew if I didn't, I wasn't going to win. So full commitment, no worries about anything else, because we're in Florida. I'm going to get wild.
Full send also.
Full send, full commitment, whatever it is, Ryan Anderson has got it. Thank you, Leslie. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current BKT overall point standings after one competition. Ryan Anderson getting 12 points, Camden Murphy with 11, Tyler Menninga 10, Charlie Pocket with 9, and Preston Perez with 8 points. 2 more competitions to go, and up next in Jacksonville was the Gray Clip Skills Challenge. In this competition, drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or opt to do a donut. They were judged by fans in attendance on creativity, skill, and execution. With 12 points up for grabs, let's go ahead and take a look back at our top 3 drivers. Coming in third, it was Charlie Pocket and Monster Muff, the long bicycle around TIAA Bank Field. In second place, it was Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid with a popper, stoppy, nose wheelie combo. And check out this winning run from Gravedigger's Tyler Menninga.
Going for a stoppy, great control, great balance right now. He's going to pop it in reverse. He's going to walk it back nice and easy, try and get to the back on top of the pod. He gets up there.
After his 9th win in the Great Clip Skills Challenge, Leslie Mears caught up with Tyler Menninga.
I think King of the Combo might be the new moniker that you might earn out there. You've really perfected it, and it's so cool to see the control you've developed. I mean, how many combos can you put together in a row?
You know, I think my record's like 5-piece combo, something like that. But man, it's a lot of fun to see how many times you can trip the truck up and get it from a moonwalk to a wheelie, for wheelie to moonwalk. It's really fun. But honestly, I've been really liking the bicycles. You know, when coming from the arenas, we never really got to do them a whole lot. So now it's just testing myself to see how far I can ride it. It's been a lot of fun, and got us the win tonight.
Guys, expanding his repertoire and add more tricks.
Thank you, Leslie. Let's go ahead and take a look at our BKT overall point standings after 2 competitions. Tyler Menninga and Camden Murphy tied at the top with 22 points. Charlie Pocket with 19, Ryan Anderson with 18, and Barney Musauer and Corey Rummel with 14 points apiece. We are through 2 with 1 more to go, and we'll get you ready for it and take a look around the rest of the league when we return with the St. Jude Halftime Report. Everyone in Monster Jam is proud to be partners with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Become a partner at Hope and receive a custom St. Jude Monster Jam This Shirt Saves Lives t-shirt. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 or visit stjude.org/Monster Jam to learn more. We are back at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville for round 18. And welcome to St. Jude Halftime Report. I'm Scott Jordan alongside Colt Stevens. So Ryan Anderson starts the night huge, wins racing, falters in the skills challenge. Tyler Menninga wins that competition, but Camden Murphy 2 second-place finishes. So again here, the top 3 in the series point standings showing out tonight.
Yeah, they're going to need Ryan Anderson to get a lower score than that in freestyle if they want to gain even more points, because Ryan is still way ahead in the point series.
Avengers Jim Kohler won an event championship in this building last year, so let's check in with the 2-time World Finals champion as he's with our own Leslie Mears in this UNOH Halftime Pit Report.
So, Jim, we know that Mr. Excitement is your moniker, but it's kind of like Mr. Bold and Crazy flying through the air moves. I know this track is giving you a little bit of fits. You know, have you found your groove with it to get those bold and crazy moves that we're used to seeing from you?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you can hit some of these jumps. The truck takes off. It'll do crazy stuff. Some of these jumps are totally wild, wacky. I can't wait to get out there and rock it. The Dirt Crew has made it totally awesome. I'm going to rock this place.
Thank you, Leslie. So a very animated Jim Kohler, as always. You know, we talked about Tyler Menninga, Camden Murphy, Ryan Anderson because they're the top 3 in the point series. But what does somebody like Jim need to do to come here and freestyle, take the competition, and play spoiler?
He needs to go out there and get some huge air. Find that sweet spot out there on that track and send that Avenger truck as big as he can possibly go.
Let's take a look around the league. Hartford, Connecticut Arena Championship Series East. Weston Anderson, talking about the kid all year. A perfect event on Saturday afternoon. This kid just keeps turning in brilliant performance after brilliant performance.
Well, he is an Anderson.
In Toledo, Ohio Arena Championship Series Central, John Zimmer Jr. won his 3rd straight event championship. Kristen Anderson, though, retakes the series points lead. Now, in that series, Colt, 41 points separates the top 5 drivers.
Yeah, there's a couple of them even tied. I mean, that series is crazy tight right now.
And on Friday night, Stadium Championship Series Red was at a non-series points event in Hidalgo, Texas. Tom Mintz won donuts, the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and the event championship. It's fun to see Tom not only competing in arenas, but just dominating like he always does.
Yeah, that's a small venue as well, but it's a big one. Big one for the fans. The fans in Hidalgo are awesome. I've done that event a couple times, so I'm excited for those guys down there.
And to update you on the points here for Stadium Championship Series Yellow, we have a tie at the top of the leaderboard. Camden Murphy, Tyler Menninga with 22 points, Charlie Pauken with 19, Ryan Anderson with 18 points. So anything can and will happen in freestyle. Now, Kayla Blood is one of the most dominant female drivers in the sport. She has had an incredible journey this season on her first Stadium Championship Series, and earlier this weekend, I had a chance to sit down and go one-on-one with the Soldier Fortune driver. Take a look.
So, Kayla, you made the transition this season from the Triple Threat Series arena events to stadium events. What's that transition been like?
It's been pretty amazing. You know, when we were in the Monster Jam Triple Threat Series, which is where I started, we did compete on the Monster Jam ATVs, Speedsters, and Monster Jam trucks. Coming into the stadiums, it still is a good bit of work, and I was able to concentrate and focus solely on the Monster Jam truck. So I really like that.
You had a coming out party in Anaheim at Angel Stadium. You got your freestyle win there. Talk a little bit about any trials and tribulations that you had from the time we started this season all the way through that big freestyle win in Anaheim.
Okay, well, started in Oakland. Didn't really go the way I wanted it to. We were moving on to the next one, and that's just what we did. Anaheim was absolutely insane. The fans there are so loud, and they had my back 100%, and that felt so good. These are 12,000-pound machines, and they're gonna do what they want sometimes. So a little bit of skill, a little bit of luck, you know, and when both of those things come together and you're able to pull off a freestyle win, like that was the icing on the cake.
What does it mean to you to be able to go out in front of, you know, all of these fans and see these little girls that come to the show that now know that they have a shot to do what you're doing? It's anybody's game, and I mean, the women are killing it.
It's amazing. You know, we have the pit parties before the event, and I have every little girl come up to me, I want to see you win, I want to see you win, and I literally want to go out there and just win everything for them to prove that we can, and it's just the most amazing feeling in the world whenever I'm able to do that for them.
All right, we talked about the evolution of Monster Jam. Let's talk about the evolution of Kayla Blood. So, you know, talk about that transition from El Toro Loco to Soldier Fortune.
You know, the fans love El Toro Loco, so it was really nice to be a part of the El Toro Loco team. And, you know, as a veteran myself, it is a big honor to be able to drive and pilot Soldier Fortune. And I would not be where I am today if I did not make that decision for myself and enlist. So to be able to support our troops and everyone, every time I'm able to come out here and hit my marks and be successful for the military, this is absolutely awesome.
All right, Kayla, thank you.
We are not done yet in Jacksonville. Stick around. The action will be heating up as Monster Jam Freestyle is next. Welcome back to the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars as we get ready to start the second half of round 18 of the 2022 Monster Jam season. Now, Gravedigger's Tyler Menninga has won the last 2 freestyle competitions on this series, mainly because he's been upping the wow factor. We've seen some technical moves from him. We've seen some backflips, but I want to talk about the wow moments. He started jumping over containers, over tabletops at all angles, and imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, Coach. So when do we start seeing some of these other drivers jumping on that bandwagon and trying to implement those elements into their runs?
That's all it takes, God, is for somebody to try it first. Now, it's really a roll of the dice kind of move, so these drivers are going to have to commit to it. Maybe wait till later in their freestyle, because they all need to gain those points on Ryan Anderson.
And here comes Preston Perez in Axe, his first appearance in Jacksonville. First appearance for Axe in Jacksonville as well. Tried for the stoppie.
I wouldn't be surprised if Preston does fill his time, though. He's done it almost all this year. Look at that sweet move right there. The rear steer cocked to the last minute. Allowed him to do a crazy little turnaround in a wheelie.
Came off the single log, able to twist the truck around. Crowd giving him a nice round of applause for that move. Great technical move in freestyle. Love seeing that. Here comes on the pod. So Preston Perez gets some throttle rhythm going and comes up over the jammer.
Jams that front end in, but truck takes it, continues on.
Comes in the yellow side of the berm, tries to get some air onto the pod, gets right back down over the car stack.
We're going to go for something big here across the center.
It's a little more rhythm there, gets a little more acceleration, is able to get across about halfway across the pod. Into a donut. 7.997. So next up, Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger. We've seen Tyler Menninga be able to pick and choose where he goes, and he's been picking to go early in freestyle to be able to give the fans that first wow moment that they see. So a very smart and sound strategy that has been paying off for Tyler. Huge air. He is going to whip this thing, and he lands it. Tyler 6 freestyle wins, leads every Monster Jam Stadium Series competitor across both tours.
Now we're talking, man. This is... I just got excited.
I know, you stood up. I can't believe it.
I'm ready. I'm here, about time. Somebody came to play, and it's Tyler and Gravedigger.
Now Tyler coming up over the berm, a lot of time on the clock.
Uh-oh, buddy. We might have a bad sway bar, though. See how the truck's leaning. Keep an eye on that right front. Seems to be working so far.
Got a lot of room here, going to come across the jammer side of the berm, up back onto the pod, and again, we have seen this combination going from one ramp across the pod to the other side of the berm.
Got to be careful going to those corners whenever their truck is still bouncing like that. That can easily catch an edge and put you on the lid. I've seen it happen to Tyler before.
Brake check across the pod, swimming it back over to the yellow side of the track. We might see a backflip attempt here.
He's going for it.
Tyler Menninga lines it up, sends it across the container, pushes it, and he's not going to land it. What happened? Take us through the Super Glue to the action replay.
Now watch this right here. Comes in, backflip. Rear tires come off of the ground. Drags the rear bumper. There's just no way he was going to make that rotation right there.
Score for Tyler Menninga, 8.770. As Corey Romo makes his way out onto the track, let's check back in with Leslie Mears.
Guys, just a quick update on Son of a Digger. After the Great Clips 2-wheel skills competition, he had a broke front steering orbital, and then also the rear brake rotor guard needed to be replaced. And so it took them a long time to get that fixed, and he just entered the floor to watch some freestyle.
Thank you, Leslie. So something to watch. We've been seeing Ryan Anderson, Colt, this year getting his hands a lot dirtier than usual. Obviously, he's very skilled at working on the trucks, but we have literally seen him almost every week back there wrenching.
Yeah, he's got a new crew chief who's great. His name is Bryce, but just trying to groom Bryce, make sure he's doing it the way that Ryan Anderson likes it done.
Huge jump, sky, wheelie, big air, whatever you want to call that, but that is extreme air from Corey Rummel.
Yeah, he's known for that. Absolutely sending this truck right now. Oh no, he might come up a little short, Scott. Oh, he drives right out of it.
Lines up for this jump, comes off the berm, the backside, and then it hits it onto the pod. Skips the other side, goes right around. Yellow race lane again for Corey Rummel out of North Jackson, Ohio. One freestyle win on the season already.
I really want somebody to come and absolutely hammer those race lanes. I've seen everybody kind of come around and they're hitting them decently, but I want to see that wide open, huge hit off of him.
Corey Rummel going to drift his way over the backflip ramp. He's got it lined up now. Megalodon goes up, and there's the first backflip.
Nice.
Corey Rummel nails it. Fans going crazy here in Jacksonville.
A perfect backflip. Now, one thing about it you got to think about is Corey's truck is a little bit different than Gravedigger. He has a custom-made chassis, so the actual length and weight of that truck is a lot different. There's a nail. Nail in the race lane I was talking about.
Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay.
Comes around, great execution. See the back tires actually do touch the backflip ramp at that point, allowing him to fully rotate. Great job.
9.546, new leader Corey Rummel. Here comes Caleb Blood in Soldier Fortune. Well, she's had a rough night so far, just 2 points for Caleb Blood in the event. Caleb Blood now trying for some redemption. She has a freestyle win on the season back in Anaheim. A win here would salvage her night, give her something to look forward to as we continue on the road to World Finals 21. Feeling it now, comes right across the pod. She's going to stop right in front of the berm. Wow.
Lots of momentum so far, Scott. Uh-oh, be careful here. Oh, gets a little whip out of it. It's pretty cool. Stoppy. She is just dogging that transmission right now.
Comes up now on the backside of the tabletop. She gets right across the pod again. Nice jump, stays low to the ground. She's going to clip the back two tires right on the lip of the pod. She's able to save it and continue her run.
There we go. Should be a big one off the race. Oh, she checks up. Thinks he's trying to get it to the backflip.
She's slowing it down in the deep corner of the track. Great look at Megalodon just hanging out. And she is now going to line up for a backflip. So here we go. Caleb Blood going to try to top this run and get it going. And she skies one and is going to land on the roof. Take a look at the super glue to the action replay. What happened on the backflip?
Right here, the backflip. Now watch. The right side does not touch the container where the left side does and drives her into a weird rotating backflip.
It's been a wild track in Jacksonville. Not everybody could get to the top of the freestyle leaderboard. Let's take a look at some of our lower performing scores. Paul Jensen, Jurassic Attack, rolled early, did not get the 30 seconds. He would not get a score. Mike Christensen and Vendetta left a lot of time on the clock. Charlie Pauk and Monster Mud clipped the back tire on the container. He would roll over. Jim Kohler could not land the 8-pack. And Craig Champion, El Toro Loco, rolled with 1 minute left on the clock. Let's take a look at our current freestyle top 5. Corey Rummel and Megalodon, the run of the night so far. He is in first. Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger in second. Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune in third. Preston Perez in Axe in fourth. And Craig Champion, El Toro Loco in fifth. Competition is still heating up here in Jacksonville. We are almost through the field, but a few trucks remain, and you don't want to miss a second of the action. Freestyle continues, and we will crown our event champion next. Let's take one more look at our BKT overall point standings as we continue here in freestyle. After 2 competitions, Tyler Menninga, Camden Murphy tie with 22 points apiece. Charlie Pocket with 19, Ryan Anderson with 18, and Barry Musauer and Corey Rummel each with 14 points. Here comes Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid. Now Camden at this point has to beat Tyler Menninga, Gravedigger in freestyle to win the event championship. They're tied right now at 22 points. Tyler has gone. He's currently sitting second in freestyle. And now Camden Murphy, if he wants the event championship, has got to get it done right here and right now. Great series of jumps there for Camden Murphy. Brake check, huge jump, just catches the single lock.
Great control of the truck. He controls that truck in the air. 12,000 pounds, and he can control it how it flies through the air.
Oh, close, came across and hit the lip
Now that 8-pack is going to be pretty much demolished now. Man, you hear that wide open throttle?
Another brake check jump for Camden Murphy.
Listen to that 540 sing.
Bakugan Dragonoid now coming past the container, over the car stack, right onto the corner of the pot again. What was that?
Holy cow.
Too far to the left. Comes across, you can hear that truck, the throttle rhythm in the air from Camden Murphy. Just a beautiful sound. Now he's going to try the backflip ramp from this side.
This is crazy. They didn't cut this one out like they did in Miami. Is it going to work?
No, he hits it really hard.
Oh, it didn't
My
work.
goodness, there's no ramp over here on this side. No ramp whatsoever. Take a look at the Super Glue glued to the action replay.
Look at these brake checks right here, downside. Absolutely beautiful. Brake check again, downside. Just absolutely epic driving style right there.
Next up, Bari Musauer in Zombie. Leslie, what can you tell us about Bari?
Guys, we know that he has planned his freestyle from the beginning of this season, but he said he's made a slight change to it for this event. He said it's not enough to just do the backflip, that you've got to have an extra wow factor if you're going to push yourself to the top of that leaderboard. He thinks that the jammer might be the one that's going to send him to the moon and to the top of the leaderboard if he can pull it off.
Thank you, Leslie. We're going to find out. Bari with 4 freestyle wins on the season, has his family here in attendance. Huge sky wheelie to get things started.
Got a huckabuck on that one.
Explain what a huckabuck moment is.
Oh, well, that's whenever the rear tires hit first and it slams the front into the ground. That makes your head go forward in the seat and slams it back and gives you what we call the cuckoo bird effect. Like it hurts. It's a very aggressive hit.
Bari goes right back around the track, so an entire lap around the track, comes right back across that gray race lane with a slap wheelie, and then now over the car stack.
Oh,
off the
Bari,
berm.
getting a little wild here, buddy.
He's going up over the berm again, and he is going to end up on the roof. Take a look at the Super Glue glued to the action replay.
Comes across, catches it, tries to slow it down. If he would have had a little bit more momentum, that truck might have moved out from underneath him right there.
Up next here in freestyle, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, 2-time World Finals champion, series points leader.
All right, 1-2, let's go.
And Ryan Anderson lines up, comes across the car stack, and son of a digger, powered by Hoonigan, is off and running.
Yeah, downside. Come on, give me another one.
Oh, he's got to come short.
Woo!
Just missed it.
Man, hairs on his chin there, buddy. Barely missed that backflip ramp.
Comes across again, stays
Did you hear him
low.
downshift too? Lexan piece on the track. Hopefully they allow him to keep running. Huge! There it is.
Biggest air of the night on the back side of the race lane, the front side of the race lane.
That's what I was talking about, Scott. I wanted to see somebody come through and absolutely nail that.
I can't even tell the way that ramp is what the back side, the front side is, Colt. Just mounds of dirt all over this track. Comes across, nice brake check.
Ooh, hard on the front end. I know what he was setting up for right there. He was trying to go for a stoppie, but unfortunately he overjumped that first one. It didn't allow the rest of that move to work out. Gosh, huge air, back to back to back.
Yeah, Ryan uncharacteristically finished 7th at the Great Clip Skills Challenge earlier. Usually first or second. He is spinning all over the place.
Oh yeah,
TIAA
here
Bank.
comes 1-2 shift again.
Big jump there for son of a digger, powered by Hoonigan. Going to bring it right on top of the berm. Nice finesse.
What's he thinking, Scott?
Well,
he's going to go for the 8-pack, isn't he?
Yep, 20 seconds left. He's got to go for the 8-pack.
No clue what this is even going to do to him.
Here goes Ryan Anderson. Look at the air.
Oh my gosh, gainer.
And he's got a nice sidewall save.
Wow!
That's a wow moment.
Go, go, go! 5 seconds, buddy, get it! Go, go, go! Put it on its lid!
Over the car stack again. Ryan Anderson, body parts flying everywhere. He's going to try to throw this truck into the dirt. Here we go.
Yes, sir!
Right up on the tabletop, and that is where his run will come to an end. That is the Ragged Edge Gravedigger style.
Absolutely epic, just like his dad would do. He's steering all the way into the 8-pack, trying to get it lined up last minute, almost fails, lands on the sidewalls, able to drive away, but then Digger style goes out. He says, I'm putting this sucker on the lid. Great freestyle from Ryan Anderson.
9.593. So Ryan Anderson's going to win freestyle. Let's take a look at our freestyle top 5. Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, incredible night, coming in second. Corey Rummel in Megalodon in third. It was Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger fourth. Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune. And rounding out the top 5, Preston Perez in Axe. Ryan Anderson threw another one down. He's going to win his 4th freestyle competition of the season, and he is on the track right now with Leslie Mears.
Things were hectic getting ready for freestyle, Ryan. You had that breakage in the back that you had to contend with. You didn't get a look at the track, and then, you told me some things weren't ideal, so you had to change things last minute as well. How were you able to still pull off that miraculous freestyle?
Man, I don't know. I was in the back with steering issues, and honestly, we didn't even get them fixed, but I said, screw it, I'm going anyway. It was a little aggravating for the run, but it just fueled my fire to even go even crazier. So flipped off the 8-pack, even though it wasn't right, but I didn't care. I was going for the fans, and that's what brought me around. I knew they were going crazy, so I had my foot on the floor.
Ryan Anderson getting 12 points with the win. We can now take a look at our final BKT overall event leaderboard. Tyler Menninga with 33 points. He's going to win this one. Ryan Anderson gets 30. Camden Murphy with 29. Corey Rummel with 25 points. And Charlie Pauken with 22. So Tyler Menninga gets his 5th event championship of the season. Gets some much-needed points in the series points chase. And he is down on the track with Leslie Mears.
For you, Tyler, we talked early about what you needed to do to impress the committee for World Finals. Do you feel like this overall just kind of adds to that list of accolades for you?
Yeah, it was a really a great night for me. I was not pleased with freestyle. It's what Gravedigger's known for, and that's what I really wanted to burn in for these fans here. And I kind of feel bad leaving Jacksonville. I know we got this, but I want to come back and pay it back to them.
Making the best of the not optimum situation, guys.
Thank you, Leslie. So, Cole, can Tyler take this momentum, carry it into the next coming weeks, and make a serious run at this championship?
There's no doubt he definitely needs to, but one thing about it is he kind of got lucky that Ryan Anderson didn't get a good score in skills. If not, Ryan would have easily been the event champion and gained even more points.
We are one and done here in Jacksonville. Next, we head to Seattle to rejoin Stadium Championship Series Red, so make sure you join us. For Cole Stevens and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Good night from TIAA Bank Field. We'll see you next time on Monster Jam.